human resource, I think people potential is such an important aspect, and great to see so many people, and the binding factor why everybody is logged in is Dr. Dash. And I must
Absolutely.
compliment your background, Dr. Dash. It's very colorful, I must say.
I love colorful life and colorful background, everything.
It is very colorful. Matlab, then it is all colors.
I think Saina is also there.
Yeah, Sahina is there. Sahina is there. I just saw her. Sahina is there.
Thank you.
We'll just wait. I think the recording is started. We'll go live, and maybe we'll just warm up 2-3 minutes and have some informal conversation before we go live, because some people will still be joining.
Acha, Shweta ma'am, I don't know, I'm not getting the option to go live. I don't know why. I'm not getting the option to make you even the co-host. There's some issue.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
There's some issue. I'm not getting the option to make you a co-host, nor am I getting the option to go live.
You have logged in from our official.
Yes, from the official itself. I don't know. Is the plan expired or something?
We'll put it later then.
Yeah, we can share the recording
No,
later
ऐसा
on.
नहीं है. But a minute, I'll get that sorted. Give me a minute. Let me just check.
So, hello, ma'am. So, good evening to one and all present here. This is Shetty, and I welcome you all to the BLL's Team Empowerment Series. So, hope you all are powered up, and you all are pretty excited for today's topic that we are going to host. That is possibility thinking. And today we have here with us Dr. RKS Mangesh Dash, a professor in the area of human resources and organizational behavior, and also an advisor and co-founder of Twaran. Hi, sir. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
So before we move on any further, I would like to take a couple of minutes to talk about the idea behind the Team Empowerment Series. So as you all know, BLL is an ecosystem support offered to businesses that need it the most. However, the pandemic has helped us identify that team productivity and coordination is what the businesses need from for an operational efficiency to marketing and hitting their sales target. Everybody agree that?
Yes.
So yes, right. So hence the idea of Team Empowerment Series is to help engage, connect, and strengthen your team's productivity, coordination, as well as communication. We hope you are able to get the most out of this session. So handing over to Dr. Dash.
Dr. Dash is from Odisha. So Dash, it is Dr. Dash.
Okay,
Hi, and welcome to. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm really very happy that BLL is doing a wonderful job, and people who are associated with are listening to many speakers, and I have I've gone through some of the videos which were recorded earlier, and I'm quite happy. That's a very, very genuine job is being done, and people take maximum benefit during this patch of life. Good evening to all of you. So today I'm going to talk on a very, very meaningful concept called as possibility thinking. And I'm just going to show you a video at the beginning. What you got to do, this video is an advertisement of a product. As the video runs, some of you have to unmute and first, can the audience unmute themselves if they want?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Some of you have to unmute and tell me the name of the product because this is an advertisement of a product. So you got to unmute and got to tell me the name of the product, what it belongs to. And whoever can tell it at the beginning is the person who is going to get some appreciation from all of us. So you must be ready for this, okay? So here is this advertisement. You got to see that and you got to tell me, you got to unmute and tell me what is the name of the product. So that's where we're going. This is the video for it. Can you tell me?
Liril.
Oh my
Liril.
God.
Liril. Sorry, Liril. Liril.
Oh my God, how do you know?
Liril soap. Liril. Liril
It's
soap.
Liril.
I mean, initially I'm showing the first video and all of you could predict it. My God, what shall I tell? Okay, Liril or Rexona? Tell me.
Liril. Liril.
Okay. Liril or Synthol?
Liril.
Liril.
Not Synthol?
No.
Not
No,
even
because
Rexona,
lime
right?
was shown, na? Lime was shown.
Oh, limestone. Okay, good. I thought you really cannot tell me the name of the product because it was my childhood advertisement. This also says the age of yours because this was my childhood advertisement. And if you can tell, it's wonderful. So let me see whether it is Liril or Rexona or what it is. Okay.
The tingling freshness of life. Now, in new Center Fresh Lemon.
So what was it? Liril or Rexona or what?
Center fresh.
It was Center Fresh, right? Most of the time, life can give us many possibilities that maybe we have never thought of. And possibility thinking is something that people are experiencing today, or they are mastering this art of making things possible in their life. You might have come across examples where people from nowhere have become successful in life. 5 years down the line, they were struggling, and 5 years then, there was somebody else who has already carved a mark for it. And it is just not a joke. Everything happens with
Sir, you're gone on
Sir,
mute.
you've gone on
Sir, you're
mute,
on
sir.
mute. You're on mute.
You're on mute, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes,
Now
yes.
you're audible.
Okay. So what I say at present, whatever we are experiencing is called as possibility thinking. And possibility is just not a factor of chance. It is a factor of scientific choice. And if we can make our life to go through certain selective way, step-by-step process, our brain has got the power to make things possible for you. You must have seen people who have just gone from nowhere to big heights in their life, the way they wanted their life to be designed, and we all can design our life by making things possible for you. So there are certain selective steps, and I'm going to have a very small presentation for you, and from there we can carve any questions that is coming up when you can discuss on the same. While I'm taking you through the presentation, in case you think there is any question, what you can do, you can write it in the chat window, and maybe Sresh will help me out reading these questions, and I will definitely be answering this, because
You'll also have an option to raise your hand. So then, you
Yeah.
can just raise the hand so we can get back to you.
Absolutely. So we can have the option of raising a hand, and as I get through, those signals, I will definitely be taking the question, and we will be proceeding ahead. So what happens when we are talking about the science of possibility thinking? I will be just taking you through a very small presentation on this. There are certain ways of thinking which have already been developed in the market, and people have already practiced this. Certain ways of thinking has been. So we say that there are different styles of thinking which were already been practiced by people, and these are called as vertical thinking. Then some of them, there is another way of thinking people talk about called as lateral thinking. Then there is another way of thinking people say analytical thinking. Then people say it is critical thinking. Some of people, there's something called as creative thinking. And what we are talking about is bit which takes everything together, and we call it like possibility thinking. That means we can think the way to make life possible, whatever we want. And believe me, possibility is not a distant dream. Possibility is a scientific process of taking things into life. If you want to be what are the areas you want to grow in life is your own choice. And whatever you decide, you really can make it, because your brain has got that power. And if in this brain that mental imprint can be put upon, then life will be completely different, and we will see beautiful aspects happening to us.
In fact, sir, I feel most of the sportsmen follow this technique a lot. They imagine themselves in that position before they play the match, and
absolutely.
So it's an element of what you are going to explain.
Wonderful.
Today, I feel.
And if that image is permanent in mind, if that image is strong in mind, a lot of things can happen, and we really can make it up. And I'm writing a book now, which the name of the book is called as The Language of Possibility. So I'm interviewing a lot of people who has become from nowhere, they have become successful. And I'm understanding what is that they did and what is that they're doing, and can that be accepted by others? So, it's just like a modeling process. So what we are observing is there something common in everybody who was becoming successful. And I'm going to tell you what people who are successful they have done in life. And it's a very, very, scientific guided process. So if I ask you, to all of you, just think of name of a color, don't tell anyone. Think of name of a flower, and don't tell anyone. And think of name of a piece of furniture. As all of you have thought of, definitely some thoughts have come up. And out of these, where your answers were one amongst these. So whatever you thought of, out of that, was your answer even one amongst these? When you thought of these three things. If it was, then you can just make a thumbs up here. I can know that some of your answer was exactly this.
Yes, sir.
So I'm
in
seeing
fact, all three, I had thought of all these three.
All these three, wonderful. So I see some yes and some no, right? You must have seen some of the answer with some of you might have come as same, and some of the answer with some of you might have not come as same. So what it says, most of us are connected with each other by an invisible wire, and some of us are not connected with each other by that invisible wire. So that invisible wire is otherwise known as mirror neurons. Since certain mirror neurons are connecting with us, that's why what happens, when we are thinking in a particular way, we are also getting some kind of a support link from others to make many things to go in a right way or in the way that we are desiring. So if I show you this picture, what happens? Mind works like a quantum machine. So very quickly, I'm going to show you a picture, and in this picture, you will find there are series of 9s are there. And in between the series of 9, there is one 8. So what you got to do, you got to spot that 8 quickly. So you got to look at those series of 9, and you got to spot that 8 quickly. Let me see how many of you are able to spot that 8 quickly. Can you see this series of 9s? And if you can spot that 8 quickly, just raise a thumb that, okay, you have done it. Or you write in the chat window, yes, you have done it. Okay, I see 2 people, 2 participants, 3 done. Only 3 could find out. Others are still struggling to find out. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the speed is going up. Good, 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 good. Wow. I found Mr. Jagdish found out. Okay, that's very good. If you have spotted the 8, the mechanism that you might have followed is, you might not have gone like a complete sequence. I mean, you might not have found this 8 in this way. Like you might not have started it from one angle and then you might not have covered completely. You found it is not there. Again, you have not done it like that. Again, you have not done it like that. Again, you have not done it like that. You might have seen, your mind has just seen all the 9s and suddenly your mind is able to spot an 8 here. So it just happened in a less than possible time. Okay. So it's not that it has exactly taken lots of time to find it out. It just have taken a spur of the moment. Your eyes has just gone over there and the eyes have been able to spot this number of 8. Why? Because your mind is actually very powerful than the way we think. So it's called as a quantum machine. Wherever the solution is, mind has got the power to get over there quickly than even we can mechanically find out through a solution-oriented approach. That is why when we can use this power of mind, we can make things to go possible for us. And many people who have grown up in life from nowhere to very successful, what they have done, they have some way utilized this power of mind to make it successful. You know, this is one slide, almost I tell it everywhere, because this is something we must want to, or we must understand. If we understand this, we really can know how mind works. You must have seen sometimes, and you must have thought of, and you must have thought of why some managers, they get the work done by others, while others, they cannot. You must have sometimes wondered why some doctors can heal a patient with night deals, while others cannot heal even with costly medicines. You must have wondered why some political leaders, they get elected again and again, while others cannot even once. You must have seen why some leaders can move masses, while others fail to even influence a single person. You might have seen why some actors or actresses are so popular, even if their acting is poor, while others are not even with their best of the acting. Why some people are the highest performers, while others are not. Why some motivational speakers are crowd pullers, while others are not even solo trailers. Why some teachers are treated as most favorite, while others are not even accepted at the first sight. Why some parenting is very effective, while others appear defective. Why some people can sell anything, while others are failure kings. Why some become successful entrepreneurs, while others are ruiners, and why some people have many love relations, while others are love omissions. You know, mostly in life, what happens, people who are successful, what they do, they create a mindset of success, they talk the language of success, and they are programmed to win. So what happens, everything, they feed their mind that, yes, I will do this and I can do this. So what they do, they make a programming with the mind, and that programming is called as, is a programming for winning, and which in our language, we call it always as Neuro Linguistic Programming. That means we make a programming of a mind by self-talk, by communication, so that the mind becomes very, very powerful and we can see success. Therefore, yes, the language pattern successful people use, it neurologically programs their mind to let them get success. Now, interestingly, you must have seen these people. Albert Einstein was a patent clerk. He became a world famous scientist. Abraham Lincoln was a poor farmer's son, became president of America. Homer was blind. He became great Greek writer. Helen Keller was blind, deaf and dumb, renowned writer. And so as examples are many, when people from nowhere, they have suddenly become a big thing. And studies on them says that they have been using a consistent and continuous pattern. And we're going to know what is that pattern people have used. And if we use the same pattern, we will definitely be successful in whatever we are doing. So, you know, there is an equation we call E is equal to mc square. That means C is the velocity of light, and the total energy is, there's a calculation, it says that each of us, we have tremendous energy within ourselves, because the energy we emit at a moment is our mass and velocity of light square. That means each of us has got tremendous amount of energy. If you calculate, you know, you truly can do miracles with this power that you have got. And this is a very, very magnified power each of us are getting. And what we do, we underestimate that power. And believe me, our mind is a disposition of all the energy of this. And if we can organize it, our life will be successful. Therefore, today, what we call, the new potential today is possibility. So anything can become possible if we want. So that is what we talk, that today the new potential is possibility, and we really can make anything possible. And that's what happens with people. So that's why what we say, whenever you're thinking about possibility thinking, rather than deciding so much things in logically, just you decide what you want. And then I'm going to tell you the process successful people have followed, and they have become successful. And if we follow the same process, we will also become successful. And this I'm going to talk to you after you all do this exercise. I'm going to tell you how you are going to do this exercise. After that, I will be telling you how some successful people, they have actually done this. So what you are going to do, I'm going to do a run through an exercise. This exercise that you must have seen, there is a blue spot on the screen, right? Could you see that blue spot on the screen? If yes, just write down yes, yes, yes in the chart window. If you have seen a blue spot on the screen, if you have seen that, just write an yes. Could you see a blue spot? Okay, I see Usha, Siddhesh. No.
No, we can't see.
You could not see? Okay, I'm showing you once again.
Some of them saw, sir. Some of them saw.
Okay, now can you see?
Now can. The screen sharing had got.
Yeah.
Could you see there is a blue spot here?
Yes.
There is a blue spot here. All of you?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
What you are going to do? What you are going to do? This is a very tricky exercise. Some of you might have been logged in from mobile phone, doesn't matter. Some of you might have been logged in from your laptop, desktop, doesn't matter. What you got to do? You got to use your both hands like a telescope. This is a very interesting exercise you are going to do. What you are going to do? You got to use both your hands like a telescope. Like one of the hand, you got to close one eye keep on one eye, and then the other hand here. Then what you got to do? This blue spot, whatever is there, you got to look it through this telescope, and you got to focus through this telescope on the blue screen. So can you do this simple activity?
Yes,
if you
why
can
not?
Do this, why not? And if you really can do, just write down yes, because I want to take a commitment. Later on, you will not tell I could not do that. So if you can do, just write down yes, yes. Somya, I have seen yes. Mayuri, yes. Dr. Swati, Santosh, 5. Jagdish, okay. Wow. I mean, you guys are really good. So what you got to do, one hand like this, through one of the eyes, other eyes you got to close it up, and like this, and the other hand here, and you got to focus it on the blue spot. If you find the blue spot moves, you got to move the hand also, so that at none of the moment, this spot will be away from your telescope. If it moves away from your telescope, then you are losing the game. And after this game, you have to tell me if you have won in the game or you have lost the game. Okay. So it's like that.
Yeah, but just a minute. If I could disturb you, I think the screen sharing has got disabled again.
I have disabled now.
You have to share the screen with us once again.
I will be doing it. I will be doing it. So first, I am just talking about the instruction. Once the instruction is clear, then I will be showing the screen. Okay. Is the instruction clear with all of you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. So what you got to do, you got to just keep like this. You got to make a telescope. Through this, you got to move so that wherever the blue dot is moving, every moment you should be able to see that. That is it. And if you are missing some moment, you got to be truthful. And you got to write, yeah, I missed it at some point of time. You got to be truthful and you got to talk about it. Okay. So here is it. I hope all of you are ready. If you're ready, just unmute and tell yes, this is required for me.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sir.
Wonderful. Great. Now I'm going to make the movement of it. Let me see. And if you're missing it, sometimes you got to be truthful and tell, yes, you could not see it completely. And here is the movement. 1, 2, 3. So could you make it?
Yes.
I missed it twice. I missed it twice.
You missed it twice. Some of you missed it sometimes, or you continuously could find it out.
I could find it out
once.
continuously.
Missed it once.
You missed
I
it
did not
once.
miss it at all.
Okay. So some of you missed it, right? Okay, wonderful. And you just see this. What happens? We have the screen in front of us. It is close to us. When we make a telescope, the telescope is not at a very distance. Okay, it is nearer to the screen. Still, if this particle moves, it becomes difficult for us to keep a track of it. Once we know the pattern, then maybe we can know in which pattern it is moving. But before we knew the pattern, it was very difficult for us to keep a complete gaze of it, and we are missing it even if we are doing it from a simple distance. So at the present, if we do not know the pattern, suppose you know the pattern, it moves like an 8, or it moves like an infinity symbol. If you do not know the pattern, it can take any zigzag pattern and it will be moving. It will not be that much possible for you to keep all the moment in the scope, right? If you agree, yes, no, no.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
something you have to say. Okay. So now, my dear friends, if it is not possible with us just at such a near distance by keeping like this, imagine when somebody is, in the warfield, and he is aiming enemies with the help of a gun, which is just an iron bolted gun, which is not even a telescopic gun. It must be very difficult for him to aim and keep a track of the target. But I'm going to tell you about a very interesting story, which I know all of you might have known about this story. It's a very common story. So this is one of the stories which always been talking about possibility can happen if the mental image is imprinted here. So that is why what happens, I'm going to talk about the story of a sniper and how he was the sniper shooter, how he, with the help of an iron bolted rifle, it was not even a telescopic rifle, and targets at such a distance can still do it, make it possible just by making this imprint get into the head. And I'm going to talk to you about some other success stories, which is really possible through the process of possibility thinking. If you look at this again, when we cited this point, it is making a movement. It was very difficult for us, but people who has made that, they're going to make the process possible. This happens. So if you look at this is just example of an iron sighted bolt action sniper. This is a telescopic gun. This is very easy to keep the target focus here. It was very difficult. And in which condition people they do, because if you look into the iron and a bolted rifle, it will somehow look like this, and when the target it is a very high distance, it's just impossible to target and find it out. But still, how people have made it possible, I'm going to talk to you. How many of you know this gentleman? And it's a very popular picture, and it's a very popular image of this gentleman. Anybody has heard about his story?
Is he from Russia?
Yes, absolutely.
I've heard about him. I can't recall his name, but yeah. Okay,
wonderful. His name is called as Simo Haya. And this person, he fought at, like war, which is called as the Winter War. And his nickname is the White Death. He's from Finland. This person killed 705 confirmed kills. Out of his 505 with rifle, 200 with a submachine gun in less than 100 days. So using an iron-sighted bolt rifle action, which is very difficult to spot, he assassinated the highest recorded confirmed kills as a sniper in any war ever. With a sniper, shooter, it is just not possible to kill so many people. And not in a very conducive atmosphere. The atmosphere when you are going to hear, you will find it was just next to impossible that has made. And this is, gentlemen, you will find a part of his head was actually blown up during the war. Let me tell you the story. Let me guide you through the story, what happened. He was born in the municipality of Rajjärvi, which is called as in Finland, in 1925. His duties as a sniper began during Winter War, which was 1939 to 1940. And see what he did. During this war, the freezing temperature in which he fought was minus 40 degrees Celsius. I know some of you might have gone to a, what you call hill station and might have experienced temperature up to minus 8, minus 10. I have experienced temperature up to minus 8. Believe me, it is just painful. And this guy was in minus 40 degrees Celsius. The body will not move. And he confirmed about more than 700 kills with a iron-sighted bolt rifle, which was just impossible for people. In less than 100 days, he was credited with 505 confirmed kills, out of which, and 542, if including the confirmed kills, whatever it came up. And totally, if you find out, it was more than 800 kills. And initially what happened, when he was, he was decided that he is going to kill the enemies, the Russians on the other side, they thought that since it was between Finland and Russia, the war was on, they thought that there was a goddamn army is fighting against them. They could not even imagine that there is one person who is fighting against them. They thought there was a goddamn army is fighting against them. And they first sent some sniper, shooters. All the sniper shooters are found dead. They, sent battalions, they found dead. And then they sent army. And the whole complete army was found dead. And then they got astonished. What is happening? And you know what this gentleman was doing? He buried himself in ice. He completely camouflaged in white. And he has put his gun inside ice. And he has taken ice inside his mouth, because for any firing, his location should not be identified, because even if he's breathing, the breathing will get condensed and through his location will be identified. So he has taken ice inside mouth, buried himself in mouth, white camouflage, buried the gun in mouth, and he was going on killing the enemies. And this was something which was being done and nobody could realize. Suddenly, what happened? Just before a few days, one bullet came and hit his face, and a part of his face was completely blown up. Still, the person could survive. And the day he survived, he found the peace treaty was signed. And that's the story of this gentleman who made things possible when it completely appeared to be impossible. And this was possible. If you look into if you read his complete life story, you will find things become possible when you create in your mind and mental imprint that, yes, I really can make it, and things are going to do. So that's why there are certain rules we got to do for possibility thinking. So before I talk about the rules of the possibility thinking, if there is any quick questions from anyone, I can take it up. Otherwise, I will be continuing about certain rules of possibility thinking, how it really happens, and what is it that you should be doing with whatever you are deciding, so that this is going to happen for you.
So, sir, I have a question.
Yes.
One question is that how can the life of a common man be different with the aspects of positive thinking?
Okay.
Should I repeat the question?
If you can explain the question.
So what I'm asking is like a common man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how can positive thinking actually, influence a common man? Basically, that's the question what I'm asking.
Okay. Wonderful answer I will be giving you. When a common man thinks positive, the impact is not visible till the common man becomes uncommon or extraordinary. Now, if you look into the life history of any extraordinary person, their life at a particular period time was very common. I give the example of a gentleman whose name is called as Les Brown. If you sometimes see the history of Les Brown, he's a very big motivational speaker today and one of my role model. If you look at this gentleman, when he took birth, his parents, they left him. He is mentally retarded, did not pass out the school education, and today is a motivational speaker of par excellence. So this process of thinking positive and beyond thinking positive is called a thinking possible, because sometimes positive thinking may always not give you a result. If you think possible, that is going to give you a result, because sometimes positive thinking at a particular period of time may stop you. I will tell you where it stops. And beyond that begins something which is called as possibility thinking. So possibility thinking makes a person to put an impact and the life transformation happens. So that is what it does to a common man. And you can see any person who has become excellent and who did not have a big family background, big support, and stories like that are enough. Just look at them. This Jamsetji Tata, when he came up to India and this place, Tata, he looked at it. The name of the location was called Kali Mitti, right? He saw over there and told, and he just spoke about himself. If you read his story, he told, this Mitti, I have to make it Sona. And rest is history, what it became. Like that, people who have actually created this mental imprint very strong, their life changes. Sometimes if you see any of the TV reality shows, whether it is, any song show or dance show, you will find people come from common places. They're not trained, and somebody was polishing boots, shoes, and all. And if you hear them, they're telling throughout the life, they have been thinking that kabhi na kabhi ye hoega, and they're not going to miss this single opportunity, and life transformation happens. So I'm going to tell you the process, how it is being done.
I believe
So,
one of the best examples out here could be Tony Robbins also.
absolutely, absolutely. 14 years young, author, and you see the life is transformation. What best can happen? So it makes common
Yes.
man.
So Dr. Dash, if I could
Yes.
just interrupt this
Right.
wonderful session for maybe 2 minutes.
Right.
See, Shirish, can do it now?
Yes. So ma'am would be just giving a short brief about BLL,
Right.
if that's fine.
Yes. So a very big welcome to all the participants here. As you know, we do this team empowerment series every month. This is more for our member organization and their teams across functions. The idea here is to connect, engage, and to bond better, and talk and really inspire each other. Because generally, always we are doing business reviews, business related discussion on that. So this is a platform where all of you feel free to come and express yourself, and we bring in great speakers and thinkers like Dr. Dash, who could obviously give us a perspective and guide us. So I hope all of you are enjoying this session. I see a lot of team members that I already know, and welcome all the team members of members associations. We may not know you individually, so it would be great, during the course of this session, if you could just share email ID and phone number with us and the organization they work from, so we could send you a recording of this discussion, which you always hear and refer to for all future reference. If we don't have your details, we will send it to all the member organizations, of course, but I don't know if it reaches the employees or not, the team members. So it is great. If your email ID and details are not registered with us, please do share it. That I can also, share Dr. Dasan Twaran and Dr. Swati's contacts with you, because I'm sure at the end of this session, Dr. Das is going to talk about fantastic programs that he has upcoming for all of us. So you can obviously enroll, but that we can only do if you have your contact details. Yes. Members need not give. Members' contact details we have. All the non-members and the people who are here for the first time, please share your details with us. I will be making a note in the chat room. And I think let's get back to the question. And I'm sure, Shresh, after Dr. Dash is done with the major part of the delivery, we'll have a round of interaction with everybody, because I'm sure people are just waiting eagerly with their question.
Actually, today's session is
and that's the time we will get to know each other also.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yes,
Shweta.
yes.
That
So
was
let's
great.
get back. I'll not hold you. Let's get back. Yes.
Yes.
I'm eager to learn.
Thank you, Sweta.
Yes.
Any other question? No. Shall we proceed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mangesh, one question. May I? Shilpa.
Yes, please, please. Yeah.
I want to take us back to that slide with the dot thing.
Okay.
And when and when we were talking about viewing that trigger through a telescope. So if you don't miss it, and if can you please just summarize it for me? What is the observation we need to take from here?
Wonderful. So your question, can you, Shilpa, can you repeat it?
Sure. This slide.
Yeah.
If we miss the dot, what does it say about our observation patterns? And if you don't miss it, what does it say about our observation patterns?
Okay. If you miss, you agree that one need to put something in head to keep it in continuous observation of this, right?
Okay.
And if you do not miss, that means what happens? You are pre-synchronizing yourself with the possible movement of certain things. That means what you are doing, you are aligning yourself with something else that you do not know. And when you are synchronized and aligned with an invisible event that is going to happen, what you are going to call yourself? Tell me.
No, but I'm synchronizing my mirror neurons with you now.
Absolutely. So that's how it goes. So you are synchronizing your mirror neurons, and that is how things happen. So what it goes that when you feed your mind that, okay, my mental imprint is going to make it possible for me, and you strengthen that mental imprint that Shilpa, when we discuss in our NLP programs, right? What you got to do, you got to strengthen that image. The moment the image is strengthened, it holds you, because all of us are like puppets in the hand of our mind. We do something the way the thinking pattern it happens in our head. And like the thinking pattern, there is an invisible string which is tied to us. The thinking pattern says, you stand up, we stand up. We say, hey, you are activated, you are agreed, or whatever it says that accordingly we behave. So whatever that is what we say. Once this imprint is changed, and in NLP you have got powerful mechanisms to change it.
Yes.
This imprint changes, your life changes, right? And many people who do not change their life, they do not change the imprint. That's why you have got powerful mechanisms. A lot of entrepreneurs, we are doing a program, launching a program for entrepreneurs, which is called as Wealth Dynamics for Entrepreneurs. People who are running a business of about around 25 crores, they're thinking of how the business will be growing up. And there is a very well-defined process for that. If you do ABCDEF, it is actually going to give you that. And that brings a complete mental imprint in your head. Once that mental imprint is established, you are just going to game for it. And that is how, this process, it actually works.
Okay. Thank you, sir, as usual.
So nice of you.
Shilpa, if we could a quick intro, what you do
I'm an
and where are you from? Because I think we are hearing for the first time.
Yeah, I'm an education psychologist and an instructional designer by profession. And I have been associated with Dr. Mangesh, I think for the past 2 years now. He was my master trainer when we did our NLP program. And that's how I get to meet wonderful people like you.
So I request all our participants, whenever you come in discussion, please introduce yourself. We may not know you and we are meeting for the first time.
Sure, yes. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So now what happens, if we really want to find how people who have been successful, they have kept things possible in their head. They have actually done two things. So these are called two-step model to bring things into possibility. And everybody who has been successful, they have been doing two things in their life. And this is called as the model for success or model for possibility. Think one, step one, what they do. They first think what they want. So this is step one. I'm just going to talk to you about two stages or two steps. Step one, what we do, we first decide what I want. If I do not know what I want, my mind will not find out the way, because we believe that in one of the prime directives of unconscious mind is the biggest servant and the worst master. If you give instruction to your brain, what you want, it becomes crystallized in the head. Then what we do, we trigger the motivation. Once I see or decide what I want, then I trigger my motivation. Either by watching a video where I have seen people, whatever they have observed or decided they can do, because that energy is very essential. Once you decided that positive energy is very essential. So I trigger my motivation either by naturally or through a video, sermon, talk, mentoring, or anything that makes meaning to me. So first I decide, then that positive energy is created in the mind, and that neural fire is really required. So this neural fire is being fired, so I remain positive. Once I remain positive, then what I do next is very essential. Once I know what I want, I become positive, then I restate what I want in positive statement rather than in negative statement. And all of you know it, how it is being done. Suppose you want to be rich, you will not tell, I don't want to be poor. Rather, you are going to say, I am rich. So what happens? Decide what you want, create that energy, then make it possible or positive. Then this is very, very important. Imagine then, once you have fed in your mind what you want, imagine a picture of it completely in your head. And when you are imagining a picture, I mean, you are creating the picture, it should not only be visualized, or it should not only be in picture. Rather, what you got to do, as you visualize it, having achieved it, you see what you see, you hear what you hear, and you feel what you feel. When you have achieved it, you must be feeling something, you must be hearing something. People will be telling you, oh man, you did it. So this you may be hearing. Whatever comes to your head naturally, you hear that, you feel that, and you see that. And even if there is a smell and taste, then smell that as you smell and taste that as you taste. Make the imprint so strong and powerful that this becomes the real you. Then ask yourself, is it what? Ecological for you? That means if you achieve it, will your life be good? Once you have done this, then what you got to do, find out what is it that you need to achieve it. Because sometimes if I have not achieved in life something, I'm lacking something. So, I got to decide what is it that I want. So first step ends here. 6 common things. Decide what you want. Make yourself by watch any motivation or be with a person who casuals you, who motivates you. Create that energy. Create the mental imprint of your senses. Then ask, is it really what you want? And find out what you need to be successful. The first step is done. Then we do the second step. Second step in NLP, we call it as neurological levels, which is very, very easy. So what we do, we need that to become successful. This goal or this objective that we want, it has to pass through a 6-step test. The 6-step test is, it should tell that I really want it. That means it is synchronized to the purpose of my life. If it is synchronized to my purpose of my life, then I will be saying, if I have achieved this, then I will get a new identity. Will I love it? I will give you an example. Suppose, say now you are doing, suppose, business. And you want that from business, from making money, you want to get into voluntary services. And suppose you want to start up an NGO, which is the number 1 in India, maybe. Then you first think, when you are making loads of money, you have an identity and you enjoy that. Tomorrow, when you leave that and come to another sphere, the identity that you are going to get will be different. Maybe even if you do not earn, you got to give. So will you like that identity? If that is being not liked, then mind will not make it possible. So if you pass through that, yes, the identity you are going to get is something that you like, then the level 2 is passed. That means the identity, if you like, and if the identity is in your head, like I have seen a lot of people, they want to, become big businessman. And what they do, when you got to go for a higher level, there are certain things you got to do. And many people, they do not like doing that. If you do not like doing that, I mean, your identity is not synchronized, then it will not make you to happen. That is why I ask and see that whatever you are looking for, that identity will be there with you. When Simohaya, he was getting into that, he knew that the kind of identity he is going to get when he is inside ICE, what is it going to give him for about 100 days is just a different story. It's not a one-day job. Like that, you are going to get a completely changed identity. If you like that, it is going to give you. Third, you find out whatever you are going to change in your life, it will change in your values and beliefs. Are you really going to change your values and beliefs? Because values and beliefs are major blocks of our life. If you do not like to change your values and beliefs, then because of the new thing you are going to do, then you just cannot achieve it. That's why you got to synchronize with your values and beliefs. If you have synchronized with your values or beliefs, then what you are going to do, you can now, you have to take some training or certain coaching to increase that capability. You thought in step 6 of stage 1, what you wanted, you have to actually get yourself trained, or you have to get yourself coached to do that. I will explain you with an example, you can understand. Then once you have got the capability, what you got to do, you got to show that, display that in your behavior. And if you have displayed that in your behavior, you got to now change your environment, or you got to make the situation to be in tune with you. So if I tell you this with an example, you can understand. If you look into any person who becomes successful in life, suppose somebody is like an educationist. The educator, I give you an example. Once what happens, I was giving training to some collection of doctors, because they wanted to be part of a commercial hospitals. And these doctors were earlier not a part of commercial hospital, they were part of a voluntary mechanism. So some of the doctors were a part of the voluntary mechanism when we are giving them training, so that they will leave that and they will become a part of the commercial mechanism. When we are talking to some of the doctors, we tell that you are helping people voluntarily. Now you have to sell hospital services to people. Can you do that? Very simple thing. And they know that they are going to have a different life. But many doctors, they told, no, we are not going to do that. We asked why? They said, because our values and beliefs are not allowing. And some of the doctors, they told, that's okay, because I have done service, I know how it is to be done. Now I can sell it. So, if something is not going through any of these points of yours, you really cannot make it possible. That is why to make possible, it is a very simple 2 things process. Step 1, think what you want, get your energy positive, then you make it positive statement, get your mental imprint done, then you find out, is it really what you want, and find out what is that capability you want, what is it missing, so that you are not able to do that. Once you have done that, Then you come to step two. Step two, you find out, is it really a part of your life? Is it really what you want in life? I mean, as you go through in your life, you grow through in your life, is it what you are looking for? Is it a mission of your life? If it says yes, anywhere it says no, believe me, it cannot become possible. That is why all the 6-step process you have to make it to go through. And if you are unable to go through and you really need to get it achieved, you have to take a professional help. They will easily make you to pass through all the 6 steps. Once you have passed all the 6 steps, then you are game. And believe me, you can make it to happen. That's why these are the 2 steps generally people they follow to make it happen. And the the 2 steps or the 6 steps of the second step are called as: 1 level is environment, 2nd is behavior, 3rd is capability, 4th is values, beliefs, 5th is identity, and 6th is mission. If what you want passes through the 6 steps process, it is just going to be possible for you and you can make it. And this is something I show people. Maybe I will come to you a little later. So if here you have any questions, you can ask me. And from here, then we can go to the last part of the presentation. Wow, that is an interesting question. What are the chances with positive thinking? If it is not stated in positive, number 1. Number 2, if it is the mental imprint is not there, or it doesn't pass through the neurological level, the 6th neurological level, the chances are very minimum. And if passes through all the 6 steps, the chances are high. Have you ever seen people who suddenly leave their home, come out, fight for existence, and they become big persons? Because when they come and fight for existence, they find all the 6 levels getting win over that, and that makes life possible. That is why if you have ingrained in your neurological level, it will happen for you, because automatically you will be under the control of the mechanism you have designed for your mind, and it is going to go for you. So that is what it happens. Any other questions?
I have a question. Can I ask a question, Dr. Dash?
Yes, please. Yes.
So, I just saw all the 6 things that you're talking about. Usme ek hi cheez hai. And I have seen I have seen people saying that mera value and belief system aisa hai. And that is what their aspiration change, their goal change, but they say that I will stick to my value and belief system. So now when you say it, obviously I find it contradictory, but a lot of people hold on to the values and system, but they want to reach a different destination.
Yes,
so,
that is a mechanism.
I find it paradoxical. Now that you are saying about this.
Because if your values will not allow, what is a value? Value is my guiding principle of life. If my values will not allow me, I will not do it. I will just stop it in between. I have seen people, they make promises that, okay, tomorrow I'm going on a perfect health mission. I will wake up in the morning, I will go and do that. After 10, 15 days, they stop it, because their values of living in comfort, eating at comfort, that doesn't allow them to do that. So values are called as the biggest limiting factor of individuals. And there are processes in NLP master level. We run a process. What we do, every value has got a coding. We distort that coding. When somebody comes, suppose, I'm talking about the story of an entrepreneur who had come to us after failure in second 2 business, where his parental money, his money he has put and failed. He wanted to take loan from bank and to be successful. And when we are actually analyzing him, we found that certain values are restricting him. He cannot, ask money to somebody. Even if he has given products and credit, he cannot collect money. There are certain values which are stopping him. And once those value elevation happened, the mental coding of the values changed, we saw people becoming successful. That is why there are mechanisms, because every value is presented in a coding. You distort or you change the coding, the person changes. So what happens? Value upliftment happens. The sequence of the values, it changes happens, and that changes the life.
Thank you.
Mr. Vimal has raised his hand. So
yes, please answer. Please ask a question.
My name is Vimal. I'm from AHA Impacts. I have some general question. You have been talking something about the successful. Is there any general definition of success in the life?
Okay.
And second thing, as for my work is concerned, my success is provide the quality food to the people. I don't care for the money. That is my motto of my life. So what is your general definition of the successful in the life?
Very good. Generally, we define success. If you look into the global definition of success, success is the objective you set for life, the outcome you set for life. And if you achieve it within the qualitative dimensions of your achievement, then you are successful. Suppose I decide that now I quit my job, I'm doing my business, and I want that within this many period, I should have helped this number of people. If exactly I do it within the framework I set it up, I call myself as successful. So whatever decision you are taking about your life, if you can fulfill, if you can achieve it within the framework you have decided, you call yourself to be successful. So that is why successful is an individual journey. And for me, in my wheel of life, what are the areas I take it up? You know, I once I was discussing in a common forum, a person told, sir, my objective was that within 1 year, I would be visiting about the major 30 temples in India. And he told, when I wanted to visit those major 30 temples of India, I made a budget. I found it was huge. And then I thought I cannot do it. But within the stipulated time, I could complete it. And I feel like I'm at the top of the world. So that is the definition of success for the person. So what you decide for you, and if you achieve that in the period of time, you are successful. So that's how yardstick you can keep it for yourself.
Not in the eyes of the world. It is, you know, to your individual, okay, whether he thinks himself successful or not.
Yes. So
yes, sir. Yes, Vimal, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please tell me.
Shreesh, let people ask, and you have been asking a lot of questions. Let us first take questions from participants. You will get your turn. Host gets first chance. First participants, yes.
Okay.
I think they should ask. Let us know what you want to ask for the younger generation.
Younger generation will ask. Any participants have any question? Then we Shresh's question.
So can I ask then?
Yes, please.
So there's this term called mind mapping, sir.
Yes.
So mind mapping is basically like for others to know that we create a systematic process, whereas in, you know, slowly and steadily we have a format to achieve our goals. So people, when they are when they've achieved that state, you know, they have a perfect level of mind mapping and everything is going smooth. But then all of a sudden there is some sort of distortion, or some situation occurs which forces them to rethink, and they feel kind of stuck. So then what do you tend to do in that scenario?
Wonderful question. Have you seen the movie Uri?
Yes.
You have seen it, right? You will find when the team was going in the, you know, that helicopter, suddenly they got a message that they will be attacked, right? Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
So what they did, their objective was to go and do their operation. And they were following a path. They got a message in between that they have to come back, otherwise the helicopter will be shot. What they did not stop the mission. And they made another backup plan. They came, got down, went through another path by which they could complete the mission and they come back. Life, whatever goal you are setting, the path has to be flexible. Goal is fixed, path has to be flexible. And you never know because you have not seen the path. When you are progressing in life, only 1/10 or maybe, you know, one part of the 100, you know, portion, you are only observing that path. You are progressing. If you find there is an obstacle, you have to change your path. Suppose you are moving from Navi Mumbai to Borivali, you are going on the road. Suddenly you will find there is a road blockage. You will not stop there and cry, right? What are you going to do? You will find out another way. So if you are thinking possible, if the path blockage or the, you know, what you call the resistance will not stop you. Rather, it will create another path for you. Believe me, people who pick things in their mind and say, yes, I'm going to do it. And they put a word called any cost. Any cost means resistance is not going to be resistance for me. So resistance is just a word for me. And people, they have just overcome and they come back. That is why loads of scientists, when they make, and in India, loads of innovation happens, they do not have the complete mechanism with them, but they innovate. So mind has got the power of innovation. That is why we say one of the ways called as cognitive learning. Mind has certain information, they just can, you know, join the dots and mind can do it for you. So that is why it's very powerful mechanism which is running inside it. And we say that there are processes that makes people to do things.
Thank you so much, sir.
So nice.
So, Dr. Dash, are we done with your presentation? Now is the floor
I have a
open for
last
question
slide
or?
for a picture. That's it. And we can take questions. At the end, I'm just going to show you a picture. That's it.
Good afternoon,
Any
Dr.
questions?
Dash.
Mahesh, thanks for the compliment. Good that you've joined.
Thank
Glad
you,
to have
Mangesh ji.
you.
Yeah.
Can I
Any
ask
other
a
questions,
question?
anyone? Sorry?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, I think Jagdish wants to ask a question. Jagdish,
Please,
introduce
please.
yourself and go ahead.
Hello, I'm Jagdish Nair.
Hi, Mister.
I'm running a diagnostic center.
Wow.
For last 30 years, I'm following some value system.
Wow.
I want to grow,
Okay.
but I can't tilt my values for certain professional gains.
Mm-hmm.
In that scenario, you find the competition from this multinational bit harsh.
Mm-hmm.
In that scenario, what can be done?
Very good. If you can tell me which value you do not want to compromise, then maybe it will be meaningful. Otherwise, if I talk about generic views, what I say, you will find when you want to grow at a particular level, there are certain values which are complete blockage to you. Either you got to change the value, because with that value, you just cannot grow. I tell you, suppose I'm doing business. If one of my client is a friend of mine, and it had happened with me earlier, a client is a friend of mine, he has taken my product, he has not paid me. And my values is that friendship is more than money. Do you think if I will have 100 clients, I will not compromise or I will not change this value? Do you think I really can do business?
No.
I cannot. So I got to think, let me stop doing business. Let me do something else. If I want to grow in a particular way, I got to find out which is that value which is completely blocking me.
Yeah.
If that blockages I'm not changing or I'm not, taking it out, it will be actually not allowing me to grow, because whatever you do, it will just make you to be over there. So what I say, if consciously you cannot change, you may take a professional help. And I tell you, value changes does not take a lot of time. Maybe in 2-hour session, you will find your values are actually being accommodated. So what you do, we delete, in the process when we change somebody's, we help a person to modify the value, we do not delete the value. Everybody has got something called as a value systems. That means my most important value, my second value, my third value, maybe my money value is here. If I want to grow, make money, my money value is somewhere here. But my money value becomes in number 4 and my friendship value becomes in number 1. What we do, we actually change the position of the values. We do not completely delete it. If I change the position of the values, what will happen now? I will completely focus on my business, but all the friends who have been cheating on me, I will not allow them to cheat me. If somebody has got a genuine problem, maybe I will allow it there. So it's not that you will be a completely different person, but your values alignment will change. Once the value alignments change, we actually become a different person. It's not that my humanity will be lost. No, humanity will be protected. Your value alignments will change. So that's beauty is the process. And if anybody is an NLP master practitioner here, I think, I think some of the participants must be master practitioners here. You must be knowing in master practitioner level, we do Silpa, I think is the master practitioner. We do a value, alignment process or a value hierarchy we change. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, and Mangesh,
Jagdish, still the specific value that you want to talk about, or it has been answered?
That is, I'll be frank enough. See, as in this scenario of recent, you find that the doctors and diagnostic centers are being told that they are cheaters.
Okay.
Yeah. But hearing all, because see, we are working for so long, 4 months we are slogging.
Yes.
After hearing all this, you get why we are doing all this.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you should be paid and I should be paid. Everyone should get paid.
Absolutely.
But just putting everyone in a one single window and all are cheaters, the day the pandemic subsides, from suddenly a corona warrior, now we have been labeled as cheaters. It hurts a lot. And in that, we don't encourage any people to get a unnecessary blood test or anything.
Yeah.
Whatever you ask, you get it done.
Correct.
In that scenario, it hurts a lot, and that makes us this little deviating for us in doing the profession.
Wonderful. Why I told wonderful? Because you recognize. When you recognize, you will march towards a result. So what I say, if you have recognized that, something which is bothering you is a generic opinion of common people. That means I did my job, I am doing business, and I am doing a business of service. If I do a business of service, then I will take my money with the service I'm doing. To this, somebody, when common people, they tell me what is blocking me is I am hurt, I am blocked when opinion of others comes. So think of, if we have a mechanism, even if people are telling, I say, okay, let him tell, this is his choice, but I will choose not to block myself. So if this value or this mechanism will be changed, I will be a completely different person altogether. So my intention is not to cheat. Somebody is telling this is his problem. I'm serving, I'm taking my money, we are doing that. I say, I have seen lot of astrologers.
Yes.
Business people, they go to astrologers. Astrologer will tell 100 points, hardly 3 points will happen. And they take their money back from them. And even if out of 100 things, 3 things happen, 97 point do not happen, they say it's okay. 3 things happen. I am charging for that. I'm not charging for 100 points, whatever they told about. That is why what it is done, every service has a price. So today, what people are doing, suppose, people like we counselors, when somebody comes to a counselor gives a result. Sometimes it does not work 100%. Like a doctor does a surgery. It doesn't give 100% result. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But people, they write a declaration that if I am undergoing this process with my consent, if it doesn't work, I am responsible. Okay. Similarly, today, any service, the same thing happens. And people are coming, we are taking a consent. Okay, somebody comes for a mind mapping, for a rearrangement. We say, okay, give it a consent. Sure, it is better that if certain things are bothering me, I can have a process for that. And if I take a consent letter, document from somebody, maybe this botheration will be less because I am protecting myself. So that's what it is happening.
Thank you.
So nice of you.
Yes. Any
Sir,
other
I
question?
have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. My name is Kaveri. I am a sales professional, and my question is, as I have a big team and sales is something, personal round of meeting is very, very important.
Absolutely.
So now due to this pandemic, when I'm not able to go and meet my clients, or sometimes when I'm expecting some sales closure and the clients do not take my calls. So how this possibility thinking will help me, because
Wonderful.
I understand that this has been a very difficult time for all segments, but this is very, very difficult for a salesperson. So how do we cope with that?
Generally, it might be happening when you make a call. What is the first thought that comes to your mind when you take a call? This person may not take my call, right?
Yeah,
or
sometimes. Yes.
Or what the thought might be coming? Oh, he will take the call and he will avoid me. So when I'm doing a process, my mental imprint is it will not happen. And when the mental imprint is not happen, it will be shown in the action as well. For a moment, what we got to do in the process of possibility thinking, we first make a mental imprint. Okay, today my law of average is say 4. So in the morning, I decide what will be my law of average today. Since you are in sales, you can understand me well. So I decide today my law of average is sell. So I know that if 10 calls I'm making, 4 is going to be cracked. Tomorrow I will say my law of average will be 6. So if I'm making 10 calls, 6 is going to crack. And then, everything. The most powerful thing, most probably in the world, is the art of communication. You think by art of communication, people with no products, they can sell a land which is already being sold 10 times. Just by art of communication, people can sell anything, right? So, if I learn certain art of communication and I have a genuine product to close, maybe that will work. And ma'am, I can suggest you, if you can browse in internet, there is a language pattern which is called as Milton language pattern. I'm writing in the chat window. You can look at it, browse it, and I tell you, it's something, this is, I say, everybody must learn from school. Oh, I didn't write Milton. This is called Milton language pattern. I tell you, in the school, we are being taught about grammars. We are being talk about how tense structures are to be done. We are never being told how to have a communication that will convince others. And Milton language pattern is a language pattern that convinces others about what you are going to talk about. So I think in school, this should be a part of the syllabus, because we have seen this is such a powerful mechanism of communication, ma'am. And if it may be helping you, if you just look at that.
Right. True, sir. Very true.
So nice of you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other
Yes.
question?
Anybody else who has a question?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah,
You
please tell
have
me.
a great chance. You have Dr. Dash today. Get hold of him and get your
Doctor,
doubts cleared. What better opportunity?
Doctor, I am a diamond jeweler,
Oh, wonderful.
and we are into this business since last more than 15 years.
Okay.
And we deals in both the diamonds. One is natural diamond, and one is in man-made diamonds.
Okay.
When client come to us and when they ask for the diamond jewelry, first we show them all natural diamond jewelry, and when then secondly we put our lab-grown diamonds, that is a man-made diamonds. As soon as we show them lab-grown diamonds, they start thinking about, अरे भैया ये कौन सा डायमंड नेचुरल में यूज करेंगे और बोलेंगे कि हमको ये दे देंगे. So that trust factor, there it's it checkers. So how to control these type of situations?
Wonderful question.
So we are very, our policy is very
Dr.
clear.
Dash.
Wonderful.
Our policy is very clear that what we are giving, we are telling them. We are not like a Neero Modi.
I like this question. Both the question, in fact, the question previous to that, because we have created sales processes by use of NLP for many organizations. That's why I like the previous question. Why this question, I like it. I have already worked with, diamond, jewelry retails of gold and diamond and the stones, how it is being sold to the customer and whoever needs it. And the process is very simple. What happens? First thing first, let us remember, human beings are not logical elements or not logical animals. We are all emotional animals. If I am thinking on logic, I'm showing them an original diamond or natural diamond or maybe a synthetic diamond. I'm showing two. And I think if I have told him logically, the client should behave logically. Client will never behave because we are not logical individuals. We are emotional individuals. Since we are emotional individuals, we have to be treated emotionally. How? It is to be treated emotionally. When a person comes for anything to buy, one of the mechanisms that we do, and which is generally missed in many of the sales process or selling process, is called as the process of neurological rapport. And if I build a rapport which is completely neurological, and we have techniques in our NLP program, we talk about how to make a rapport so that you are bypassing the conscious resistance of the person and you are connecting the mirror neuron or the unconscious mind. Once that you are able to establish, then whatever you talk about your product, your services, bit of linguistic pattern, what it does, it loosens the resistance in the mind. There is a techniques are there. What it does, the resistance the client has towards a product, it actually loosens that. And imagine if the resistance is lost, what will the client will do? The client will actually access whatever you are saying. And there are techniques. We actually sometimes make a client to wear something and we create a visualization. There are certain processes are being done. So what I say, I will be, since in one line, what answer I can tell you is that there is something you can just look at. If you can understand that, that is called as, I'm just writing it. You will get this information in internet.
Okay.
This is a kind of question pattern. You may search it in internet. And if you really know to use this question pattern, I wrote it like meta model questioning. If you know how to ask this question pattern, you will find person will be understanding what you're doing and the person will actually give you exactly what he wants. And that's a very powerful thing we use in mostly sales processes. Any further information you may remain in touch with me, I will definitely guide you on this.
Sure, sure. Thank you, doctor.
We will share Dr. Dash's information, Rajiv. You don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Okay, yeah.
I have a question. My name is Chirag. I'm here on behalf of my dad. So everything is related to your mindset, right?
Absolutely.
So if some people, when you face a problem, I see it as an opportunity for growth.
Mm-hmm.
As in, when a problem comes to you, what are the factors that you take to measure it? And then as it you take it as a challenge or as a situation that it's a failure. I will be fail. That's.
I give you my personal example. Okay, when problem comes, I neither take it as a challenge nor as an easy way. I first take it as, is it required for me? If the problem is not required for me, I will not invest my energy into that. A lot of people have given me loads of challenges in life. I've just not taken it. I tell her, yes, mujhe zarurat hi nahi hai. If something makes a meaning for me, I will evaluate that. I will evaluate that. If it is meaningful for me, and if I achieve it, will I be in peace? Will my near and dear ones will be in peace? If they will be in peace, I will be in peace, then maybe I will pursue that path. And if it is meaningful for me. That's why, rather than finding out, somebody challenges me why I'm not giving back, I find out, somebody challenges me, this is his way of thinking, and he might be right. I cannot be, generally there is a statement we say, somebody's opinion about me should not become my reality. Somebody says I am bad, it's his opinion. It should not become my reality. Why should I be bothered about that? I only get connected if it adds some meaning to me. And if it adds a meaning to me, then I will find out how to go about it. So that's how the process goes.
Good answer.
Chirag, you are representing which company?
Global Shipping and Logistics
Achha.
Solution.
Okay, Sampath.
Yeah, he's my dad.
Okay. Great. Any other questions? So I think, Douglas, you could take a last slide.
Okay.
And then maybe talk about some upcoming programs.
Oh, okay. This may be my last slide. When you look at this picture, tell me what comes to your head. When you look at this picture, what comes to your head?
Speed.
Okay. Whatever picture comes to your head, just you can say that.
Power.
Power, wonderful. What else?
Light.
Sorry?
Light.
Graphic.
Light. Okay. Sorry?
Light. I mean
Graphic.
light.
Graphic.
Oh,
light.
lighter.
Na? Half of the thing
Lighter.
not there.
Okay.
So it
Light.
makes you light and agile.
Wonderful.
Agility.
Light and
motion. In completion.
In completion.
Running.
Graphic.
Okay, wonderful.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible. I have seen a lot of time people who are incompetent in doing things. They have always attracted my attention because I have seen people who appear to be incompetent, still they became successful. So what I want to say, incompetency is not equal to unsuccessful. I have seen people, they didn't have money. Financially, they're incompetent. They didn't have manpower. People-wise, they're incompetent. They were not in the right market. Or whatever we say, the 5 N's, 4 P's of marketing management, I've seen people, they were not incompetent on these things. They had only one thing in my mind, yaar mujhe karna hai. How I'm going to do, I don't know, but I will be doing. This determination creates a mindset in your head. It will just make you to go. What we say, if I got to move, I got to catch the flow. And if you are on the flow, you can blow. That's how it goes. So what I say, my dear friends, you decide, and even if you are not 100% prepared, still you can achieve it. And any successful example you see in life, you just browse the internet and find 100 successful people who were no one at a particular period of time, you will find a common thread with all of them. Even if they were nowhere, they decided, they created a mental imprint, and they changed their values, their capabilities, their environment, mission, all the alignment they did, and they became what they want to do. And so if you want to do, you really can make that choice. And believe me, life is beautiful. You really will be enjoying that. Okay.
Yes. So, now Twaran Dash does professionally helps entrepreneurs and individuals with a lot of his programs. Dr. Dash, if you could share some of the upcoming programs people could enroll for. Also are interested and also send this out in emails.
Absolutely, we'll be doing that. We have an organization called as Twaran, and we are coming up with one more organization which is called Center for Human Development and Neuro Linguistic Research. We help people, whoever wants to magnify their life to go to an extent. And we help in all the dimensions, sales, marketing, HR, everything we do. We create OD processes and all. And we have a very popular program. I mean, we are really doing it very good, whatever feedback we get from the market, which is called as Neuro Linguistic Programming. We work on that. I tell you, everybody should get an experience of working in the space of Neuro Linguistic Programming. It is just awesome. So what you can do, my dear friends, to know more about us, and we are very recently, we are conducting another program on NLP, and we are also conducting one program for all the business owners, entrepreneurs, or people who want to grow in life. That's on Wealth Dynamics. You can stay connected. There is a number which is being shared, from an ID called as Business Leadership. Yeah.
Yes, I've shared it. I've shared the link as well as the contact details.
Yes. So this is what I'm just copy pasting and sharing it once again. I think I could not copy paste it properly.
No, you can't copy paste from here.
I can copy paste from here.
Shresh will share it. No problem.
Please do that. Okay, please do that. And the number and everything is said. You can know more about me. And the number is 8291741695. If you want to get connected, do connect. And we will definitely be helping you the way we really can. And I look forward to have newer friends through us, and let's see how we can take it up further. And thank you, Shwetaji.
And Dr. Dash, we look forward to doing some long term.
Absolutely,
so that if we have got a glimpse of what power and energies we can unblock. So we will do also some long term workshops, some for individuals, but mostly for entrepreneur program. That is something that we would want for members on the BLL platform.
So nice of you, Shwetaji, and we will definitely do that. And I always feel good because.
Shweta. In fact, Dr. Dash, I have to tell you that next 15th August, we are inviting another fellow ODI. I'm so proud. A lot of friends
So
here
nice.
make fun of the ODI. लोग कुछ नहीं करते. देखो हम इतना पढ़ाई लिखाई और क्या चाहिए.
And Shwetaji and me, we belong to the same locality only.
I'm sure if you have time.
Sure.
Yes, if you have time on 15th August to also join. We have another ODI gentleman, Dr. Ashok Mohanty, heading Adani Group, Human Resource. He's going to talk on Leadership Molecule 2020.
I will definitely be there. So nice of you.
Proud. I really thank you on behalf of BLL, all members and all participants, that you give us such wonderful insights, and it's
so nice
completely value for our time.
Thank you very much. So nice of you. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. We will send all the details. Hopefully all of you enjoyed this session. Any closing remarks from you?
Me? Okay, I wish all success to everybody. That's it.
Yes, Shresh, any closing remarks from you?
Nothing as such. Actually, I had written down a lot of questions, but then Sir answered it. So it was something like I had to ask the question, but at the same time, my questions were being addressed by the answer. So
great.
Nothing as such.
Dr. Swati, if you would want to say something before we close. Dr. Swati?
I guess she is logged out because I received a message from her saying she has some network issues.
Achha, okay. Done. So we'll end the session, Dr. Dash.
Just for one word.
So we will use you adding value to the lives of our entrepreneurs and giving them the ability and strength to go to the next level.
Thank you.
So nice.
Thank
you, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Shresh, we could end the session.
Yes.